So yeah, that's me, and that's my Twitter handle. If you want to follow me, I tweet about pretty cool stuff sometimes, and some random stuff sometimes. And well, let me introduce myself. That's my chest. I mean, that's my shirt, and that's my motto: act for change. Like everything I do with a purpose. And I can tell you more about it later, but I really don't have 10 minutes right now. So about myself, I was born and raised in Peru. I went to San Francisco State University, got my computer engineering degree, and then I started my first company when I was a senior. An education company. I did pretty well, and now I'm building my second company, which is StudyRoom, to be the largest social learning platform for students to collaborate, college students to collaborate. I'm also 26, and I'm single. Moving on. This presentation is going to be about doing it, not in that sense. Being about success and being about love. So, can anyone recognize this kid? Raise your hand. Yes? No? One person. Wow. Okay. So this kid went to a soccer match and soccer game, and then he just ran into the field because he wanted to meet his a soccer player, all the soccer players from Brazil. And the cops, stopped him as he was running, like a little kid like this, right? He was running, they stopped him, and all the players were like, no, bring him on the field, and then, just look at him, it's probably the best moment in his life, because he had the courage to just go and do it. And little kids are like that, right? So, for me, I think that we should all act like little kids in the sense that we should be fearless. We should really have nothing that can actually stop us. We should have the mentality that absolutely nothing is impossible and nothing can stop. But of course, we're old, so we're smarter, so we're not gonna, break stuff. Well, even if we break stuff, that's totally fine. So, hold on. So another very important thing about doing stuff is about standing out, right? You have to stand out if you want to be able to do stuff. And for example, I'll talk about my intern, Alicia. Say hi. Hello. Yeah. So I met her because we launched StudyRoom at San Francisco State, and a lot of the students reached out to me immediately, hey, I want an internship. Hey, I want this, I want that. Which is really cool when you're working with college students because you want that and not in a company. But for example, she really approached me we were on campus. She went to look for me. Then we met up afterwards, then we met up a month later, and then after that, we decided to hire her. And of course, if she had not approached us or talked to us or just showed her motivation and how inspired she was by the product, we would have never met her and she would not be our intern. So doing it and standing out from everybody else is very, very important. And you just gotta do it. So for example, anyone wants $100? Yeah, you raise your hand, you don't do anything, right? But you really have to stand out. And one thing that I saw at a conference, which was amazing, it was this investor talking about stuff, and then it was the last question at the conference, and everyone's like, okay, last question, and everyone's like that. Some people stand up and they do that, but that's not enough. And there was this one guy who pulled out a $100 bill, so he was completely noticeable from the entire crowd, and the investor was like, you can ask a question. So you gotta do these things, you just gotta do it, and don't let anything stop you from doing it. So be fearless just like a kid, but smarter. So the next thing I'll talk about was success. So you can see a lot of successful people here. I think the most important thing about success is how you define success, and you should not let other people define success for you. So some people say that I'm a successful person. When I was in college, I was the president for the Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers, SHEP, chapter at San Francisco State. And when I started, it was completely dead, completely dead. And there was all the chapters that had 30, 50 members or whatever. But for me, it was a challenge that I wanted to take on. And I was like, okay, how can we do this? How can we bring SHEP back to life? And we can have a meeting with pizza and stuff, because that's what societies do. And so instead of that, we decided to start cooking. So we cook Peruvian stuff, we cook enchiladas and stuff, and then everyone was like, what the hell, you guys are cooking for the people coming in? We were recruited that way. And we actually got to 50 people in just a month. So we brought SHEP back to life, and I was pretty proud of that. After that, as I said, I started my first company, in-class and education company, with the goal of making students more organized. It was an iPhone app and an iPad app, and to the date it has over 3 million downloads. So 3 million students from all around the world have been able to become more organized in college thanks to that. Of course, that got me in the news a lot because of like just the hype and everything. Then I started StudyRoom. We just launched in January. We have about 10 schools, and we have right now 34,000 students on board. And like for them, it's like they cannot even imagine their life without StudyRoom because they can now just go and collaborate and share and organize study groups super easily, which is something that they didn't have before. And then you ask me like how much money you have in your bank account? And I'm like, I don't have a lot. So, but that for me, that doesn't define success. And you will see all these successful people, they don't define success based on money. They define success based on the value that you bring back to society, because we live in a society. I mean, if you just live in your own little bubble, you only care about yourself, then you're doing it wrong. Because every day, just like right now, we're interacting with everyone around here, right? So it's about the value that you provide others. What else? Oh, and you can say, well, I want to be successful too, but I don't have any money to donate. You can donate your time as well. And that's, for example, what I do. I'm a volunteer for US, which is a nonprofit that's trying to push immigration reform. And I just volunteer my time and I volunteer my talent, and I built an iPhone app for them that is supposed to help immigration reform just by taking a selfie. So you take a selfie and you send it to your representative, super easy in 3 steps. So trying to do something scaling, we also take a selfie afterwards. Anyway, but the road to success is very, very hard. So you better love what you do. And that brings my next topic. But success is equal to the value you provide others. And you gotta start doing the things you love. Because again, the road to success is very, very hard. And if you just look at your entire life, love has defined every single step of your life. Since you were a little kid, you loved your toys. Then you got into like high school, whatever, you got your first girlfriend and you did everything for that girl, sometimes. So it just defines what you do, right? And then when you think about it, after you're done with college and everything, right? You're gonna be working probably, from 8 to 5, if you're lucky. Sometimes you gotta work a lot more than that. So really, like, your job is gonna take a big chunk of your entire life, right? You spend 8 hours sleeping, hopefully you get to sleep 8 hours, and then you spend 8 hours at work, maybe more, and then you only have a little time for yourself. So the work that you do better be something that you're very passionate about, and then you have fun doing it. So, passion is to really love something, and passion drives everything that you do. And what I do, it has helped a lot, because a lot of times it's like you have to find the right balance between what you need to do and what you like doing. And I encourage that in my team. I tell them all the time, right? These are the things that we need to get done by next week or by this month. But I want to hear to we prioritize absolutely everything that we need to do, depending on the time it takes to build and all this stuff. But I always tell them, I want to hear from you what you want to do, whether it's relevant or not, whether it's time sensitive or not. I just want to hear what you want to do. And just because you want it, it will bump it up in the priority list because you want it. And I encourage that with my team. I encourage that everyone tries that. And hopefully your job is good enough that would allow you to be that flexible, because that also at the same time inspires innovation. Because you can say, I want to do this. It's crazy. I just want to do it. So that was it. And again, that's my name, that's Twitter handle, and that's my company. My company is Twitter handle if you want to follow me. And thank you. Help me in the panel in a little bit.